Hello, everybody. Welcome to this Friday morning sales meeting. My name is Matt Wan, and I am the president of Maximum Potential Institute.
And I'm Al DeSaro, the vice president of Maximum Potential Institute. Welcome on a beautiful sunny day. Look at this over
is
here.
it gorgeous out there or what?
When we're done, we're going to go boating. Come on down, we'll go boating together.
We are blessed to be in one of the nicest areas in the country, aren't we?
Yes, we
We're
are.
blessed to be in sunny South Florida where, most of the time the weather is just absolutely incredible. So we're blessed. Hopefully you're having the same situation where you are. But either way, it's the weekend. We're getting ready. It's the last third of the month. We're going into the last 9 days of the month, 9 or 10 days of the month here. And we want to talk about a great subject, attitude, business etiquette. We want to give us a little bit of career advice today, right, Al?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we want to talk about a little bit of a career advice because any business can use this advice. So if you're watching this on our Zoom conference live with our dealers, I want to say hello to all our dealers throughout the United States.
Hi, dealers.
And we also want to welcome people who are going to watch this on our Facebook Live. We're going to be promoting this on our Facebook Live this week. But I tell you what, we got some great subjects to talk about before we go into the weekend. We all know in the automotive industry, the weekend is the best part of the week. Why? We get customers that are coming in looking for cars. And I can tell you, no matter where you are, whether it's sunny or if it's raining or it's probably not snowing at this time of the year, but hey, if it is snowing, if they're coming on your lot, why are they there, Al?
To buy a car.
That's the reality of it. They're there to buy a car. They're not really there to just kind of, hang out with you. No offense, but they're there to buy a car. So let's talk about a little bit about business etiquette. Let's talk a little bit about attitude, first of all, approaching the customer, taking care of our customers, and the mental attitude that you must have in this business now. I know you always talk about that, so start off.
Mental attitude. It's got to be all positive. We got to look at all the great things in life, all the great things of what we have in this world. Just waking up in the morning being happy. Some people didn't wake up this morning. So you have to have a great attitude, and you have to have a good 6 inches between your ears.
No doubt. And the key here is no matter what business you're in, I just read an article just this week.
This week?
This week.
Okay.
Gallup poll just said that 85% of the population worldwide is going to a job that they do not like. And in the United States, we actually fare a little bit better. 70% of the people in the United States go to a job every Monday morning that they actually hate. Man, that's terrible. We're doing one of the best in the world, and yet we're at 70% job dissatisfaction ratio. That's not good. And it mostly comes down to the attitude. In the automotive industry, you got to have a positive attitude because your customer can really tell if you're positive or not, right or wrong.
Yep, absolutely. They know if you're hungry, if you're desperate for a deal, or someplace it's called commission breath. They can feel your breath that you need to make a deal so bad, okay?
And I believe that 90% of a deal is your attitude and your personality, right or wrong.
Hey, you're meeting a customer coming in here. They're buying a car. It's a wonderful gift. People love to buy cars. Make it happy. They get a deal. You make a little money. Everybody's happy.
Right. They want to deal with people they like and trust. So your attitude is everything. From the moment you greet that customer, this weekend when you're going out there and you're going to be shaking the hands of your customer, go out there with that step in your, what do you always say? That step in your,
that pep in your step and that smile on your face and the word open. When you meet somebody, open up your arms, open up your ears, open up your eyes, open up your smile. Be open and be ready for whatever they say. Remember, they drove there for a reason.
They're there to buy a car.
They came to buy a car.
Welcome them to your place. Welcome them to your place of business, your home. Welcome, and use that word welcome. What a key word, because when you welcome somebody, think about that. Can I help you? No. Hey, welcome to ABC Motors. My name's Matt Wannen, and yours? Welcome them, right, Al?
Make them feel good. Don't worry about whether they can buy a car or credit or money. We'll get to that. But they're giving you a chance. They're coming to your dealership to say, hey, I got your commission in my pocket. Make me feel good. Find the right car. Suggest to me. I want to give you that money.
Right. And we all know that most people, when they come to the dealership, put yourself in the customer's shoes. Psychology. Come on. Most people are kind of afraid of us when they get to the dealership because they heard of all these things that happened in the past, and we know it doesn't happen today. But the truth is that they're still afraid of the car salesman. People say it's worse than going to a dentist. We know that's not true. But the reality is that people perceive it that way. So if you greet them with a positive attitude, and throughout your entire presentation you have a great attitude, a pep in your step, and a smile on your face, and you're open like Al says, and you greet them happily, man, I'll tell you what, it makes all the difference in the world.
Well, I mean, somebody's coming into your dealership. If you treat them like you'd want to be treated and understand that, hey, maybe I'm not sure what I want, help me, guide me, direct me. Don't pressure me. Make me feel good, because the bottom line, that customer is going to help you put food on your table and a roof over your head. They deserve the best.
Absolutely. And we all know the numbers. We talk about numbers a lot on these podcasts, on these video casts, these vlogs that we do. We talk about numbers. 89% of the population do research before they ever walk on your lot, of which 85% of them have really narrowed it down to about 1.5 cars are what they're looking for. So they pretty much know what they want.
Yep.
And then over 50% of them are still walk-in traffic, even though they know exactly what they want. And 85% of those folks are still going to say, I'm just shopping.
I'm just shopping.
So it's about the attitude to break down that wall that the customer has up. Your attitude, your pep in the step, your smile on your face will always make the difference, right? And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Sorry, I was about to say, but you know what? The other part that makes a big difference?
Tell me.
Your
Tell
appearance,
everybody.
Your appearance.
Your appearance, of
how
course.
you look.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
You always talk about that.
I always make sure my hair is just right. I want to make sure it's combed right. Okay?
You got to make sure of that, right?
That's right.
You know, I have Nico over there busting on me a little bit earlier. And I said,
Yeah.
how's my hair look? You know, he says, it's non-existent. Not very funny, Nico, but that's okay. I love it, all right? Good one. He got me a good one there. But hey, it's the truth. Your appearance is so important. Think about if you greet a customer the first time, what your appearance says about you, first impression, if your shirt's all wrinkly. If you look like you just came from the bar from the night before. If your hair is disheveled. I mean, that makes a huge difference, doesn't it?
We was at a dealership the other day, and a guy, his sole was flapping on his shoe.
Yeah.
The sole. And I thought, okay, maybe that just happened. And I was there 2 days later, he had the same shoes on with the sole.
Yeah.
Who do you blame for that? Who's inspecting these people? I mean, if you have a salesman that his sole's falling off, chances are he's very desperate. He probably looks bad, and he probably has commission breath.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's a tough situation to be in, right? And look, hey, if you're in that position where you're financially in that position where, but just go do the best that you can do. You can go to a secondhand store, right? And buy a nice looking belt and buy a decent pair of shoes and things like that. And hey, you know what? If you're in management and you got a salesperson like that working for you, go out there and buy them a pair of shoes, man. Or go out there and buy them shoes or a belt or whatever. It's important because appearance is so important. Hey, look, if you have long hair, for example, and if you're a man with long hair, I'm not saying you have to cut it. Right now, nice. I'm not saying you have to cut it, but what I am saying is keep it nice and neat. You know, maybe tie it up a little bit. If you wear earrings and you're a man, you know, again, take them out. I mean, let me just be frank with you, right? Take them out. It's all about how you look and how you appear. Your attitude is going to be big, but at the same time, your appearance is also very important. Wear a nice shirt. Wear slacks. Wear shoes. Put on a nice belt. People can tell if you're trying, even if you're trying, right or wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have one dealership group that we work with, and I'm not going to mention their name, but it's probably the most professional, one of the most professional outfits in the country. And everyone, shirt, tie, slacks, jacket, it's required, but it becomes because it's from the top down, isn't it? And that's just the way I dress. It's the way Al always dresses. We always dress the part. You can never, I always say this, dress the part of what you're selling. Dress like the product that you're selling. In other words, if you're selling a $50,000 car, hey, dress the part. Dress like you're selling a $50,000 car. You can never blow a deal by being overdressed, but you can blow a deal by being underdressed, can't you?
You know, some people say, I want to grow into management. Well, look at the way you're dressed. And we like to say, don't dress for the job you have. Dress for the job that you want.
Right.
If you have goals and dreams. If you don't know how to dress, find somebody that the way you like the way they're dressed and ask them for their opinion. You may not have any style whatsoever. That's okay. Maybe you weren't brought up that way. But if you have no style, find somebody with style to help you.
Absolutely.
The better you look, the better you feel, the better your attitude is, the more cars you're going to sell.
It's just, that's simple, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we say, right? Dress not the part, dress the part that you want, not the part that you're in. Dress like a prospect, not a suspect, right? And you want to look that part. Personal appearance is vital important. So attitude, on top of that, personal appearance is very important, right?
Right.
Let's talk about a few things that great salespeople do. And I'm talking about the greatest salespeople in any business, okay? So if you want to become a great, one of the beasts, I mean a really good sales professional. This is a subject that we talk about a lot. We have a whole class on this. But there's 4 primary things that great salespeople do. The first thing that they do is they become brilliant in the basics. Great salespeople become brilliant in the basics, in doing the basics excellent, don't they?
Absolutely.
Right?
And the basics start in the morning. I mean, great salespeople get up. A lot of people, go exercise. I like to go for a walk or go for a swim. They start their morning out because they're getting ready for the day, and they take care of themselves. They eat something, they eat good nutrition. They prepare themselves before they even walk out the door. They're ready, and on their mind is, I'm going to sell something today. That's why I got out of bed.
Comes back to attitude, doesn't it?
Comes back to attitude.
They do the basics great. And just think about this isn't any business. The top 20% of any salespeople in any industry or any place that you're currently working at right now, they're excellent at the basics. They're excellent at the steps to the sale. They know the steps to the sale like the back of their hand. They can recite the steps to the sale without looking at a piece of paper. So I'll ask you, if you're right there right now and I ask you, what are the steps to the sale? What are your dealership steps to the sale? Some dealerships have 5 steps, others have 7, others have 10, right? What are the steps to the sale? Get great at the basics, just like a professional athlete. What do the best athletes in the world do on a daily basis, Al?
Practice, practice, practice. And then they practice and practice.
More.
Absolutely.
And what do they practice?
They practice their game.
And they practice the basics.
Absolutely.
That's what they practice. Look, we just had baseball season just started, right? What do they practice in the preseason? What do they practice? They practice the basics. The pitchers and catchers come and they just simply throw the ball. The infielders come and they hit the ball to them. Very simple. They don't practice diving plays right off the bat. They don't swing for the fences that day. No, they practice the basics. And they get great at the basics, right?
Absolutely, because that's how you can grow. If you don't do the basics, you can't jump ahead.
That's right.
It's just like LeBron or Michael Jordan. I mean, these guys, they shoot hoops all day long. They shoot 1,000 shots all day long, constantly. That's how they got to be so great. They
That's
weren't
true.
born that way.
I just saw an interview with LeBron James. I mean, he's arguably the greatest basketball player on the planet, right? Right now, currently playing, right? Could be a big argument between Jordan and LeBron.
Yeah, don't get
We
Albert
don't want to get
Lopez
there.
involved in that.
Hey, Albert,
Albert,
all right,
Albert.
I'm with you. No, I'm on Albert's side on that one. But anyway, I'll tell you what. LeBron James says that before he does anything, he starts with stretching. He throws hundreds of free throws every single day. He starts with simple dribbling drills, and that's what he starts with. They start with the basics. So become an expert in the basics. That's step 1 to becoming a great salesperson, is becoming excellent in just the basics. Just learn the steps to a sale. Then you can start to learn how to overcome objections. Then you can start to learn different closing techniques. Then you can start to learn advanced selling techniques, right?
But the attitude, like you said, when you get up in the morning, when you get to your place of employment, great salespeople are there before anyone else.
Yeah.
Great salespeople. Looking the lay of the land, people in service, maybe walking around looking at cars. They go in 15, 20 minutes earlier, pick up 3, 4 deals a month. You just never know.
Always, if you get there earlier, you'll pick up a few deals extra a month. Just go in an extra 45 minutes earlier, right?
Right.
Somebody from service is sipping coffee, looking around in the car. Hello, sir, can I help you with something? Very simple. They also look at the inventory. They walk their inventory on a daily basis. They know their used car inventory. They know what vehicles sold the day before, and they also know what just came in on trade. Hey, maybe a $2,000 or $3,000 car came in on trade that they're probably going to ship off to the auction if you work in a franchise dealer, but maybe you know somebody that wants a $2,000 or $3,000 car. Hey, that's the most valuable inventory you can get. So rather than do that, you start calling your customers first thing in the morning. Hey, Mr. Jones, I know you were looking for a $4,000 car for your daughter. I got one in on trade yesterday. Come on in and take a look at it. So you're right, Al. It's a great point. Get there early. Do the basics, right?
Absolutely. And talk to everybody. Go back, talk to your service people, parts people, talk to the mechanics.
Yeah.
I used to go talk to the mechanics, and every once in a while mechanics say, hey, Al, you know what? My cousin wants to buy a used car.
Refer.
Now, why? Because I'd go back there and say hello to them. Sometimes salespeople have no idea what the mechanics' names are. They don't even go back there. They're part of the dealership. Learn the mechanics, the people in the parts department. Once in a while, buy something for the people up in the office. Keep them nice and friendly.
One of the things I like about where we're going tomorrow morning to do a big sales meeting with the entire staff, there's about 60 salespeople in this particular place. So Al and I are going to do a meeting there. One of the things I love about the leader there, his name is Rick, is when he walks in the morning, he says hello to everybody. He goes over to parts. He goes over to service. He goes over to everyone, says hello, shakes their hand. Everybody comes up to him. It starts from the top, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Another thing that great salespeople do is they set big goals. They go into the month with big goals. They go into the week with big goals. They go into the year with big goals. They all have goals and a plan in order to accomplish those goals in order to get there, right?
Absolutely. If you have no goals, you have no plan.
You have no aim.
You have no aim because you're going to miss it every time.
Right.
And people say, well, what are really goals? Well, it could be daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals. Where do you want to go on vacation? What kind of car do you want to drive? Where do you want to live? How much money do you want to have in the bank? How much do you want to give away? Volunteering? I mean, they got all goals.
They got personal goals, financial goals, health goals, spiritual goals.
Yes.
And the top people in the world are driven to achieve those goals no matter what. They're going to go after those goals. They're going to do it. They're going to accomplish it. Hey, I'm going to sell my 25 this month. I'm going to make my $14,000 this month, and here's how I'm going to do it. And they hit those numbers because they begin with the end in mind. One of my favorite books is Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Habit number 2 is begin with the end in mind. When you begin with the vision of where you want to go, you'll get there. But if you begin the month just hoping, man, I hope I sell something today, Al. I really hope it. I hope I get a customer and I sell something today.
Yeah.
That's not a plan of action. See, the best salespeople in the world begin with goals. They start with those goals. They know what they want to go after. They begin with the end in mind.
Why don't you tell them about navigation?
Well, okay, navigation system is an example, right? If you take out your phone right now and go to your favorite application, whether it's Google Maps, Waze app, whatever it may be, and you type in Disney's Magic Kingdom right now, right? It puts a little pin on where Disney's Magic Kingdom is, and you go on that navigation and you hit the Go Now button, right? Where does that navigation start from? So in other words, you put in Disney's Magic Kingdom. There's the pin right there. You're down here, right? And then you hit the button that says Go. Where does your navigation system actually start from? 95% of the people say it starts from where you're at. The truth is, the algorithms start from where you're going. Your navigation system actually begins with the end in mind and then works its way back to your location to find you the quickest way possible. So even navigation systems work that way. They begin with the end in mind. Sure, you start with, okay, this is where I want to go. That's your goal. I want to go here. Hit now. This is how I get there. Because now you have a plan of action in order to get there, even a navigation system.
Absolutely.
It's how we should live our life, right? Another great thing that's all great salespeople do is they continually are learning. They're continually learning about selling techniques, product knowledge. They're continually filling their mind with education, yes?
All the time. I mean, if you're not growing, you're not going anywhere.
Right.
I mean, most people in our industry, they're there for a couple of months and they feel they know it all and they don't want to be trained. Just give me more customers to blow out. And the bottom line, it's constant training. We train, we go to events, we read books, we bounce off each other, we role play a lot. I
Absolutely.
mean, we give ourselves a lot of positive feedback. I mean, that's a constant. But most people in this industry, they get to a certain place and that's it. They don't grow anymore. They do the same thing over and over again, getting the same results.
It's about learning. It's about filling your mind. Look, read a book. Pick up material on. Let me give you a perfect example. Ask yourself this question if you're in the automotive sales business right now. If a customer comes in for a used vehicle, how many of you out there, be honest with yourself, how many of you out there actually do a product presentation on every used car that you present? I know the answer to that question. I asked that for a specific reason. Look, every car has certain characteristics. If you learn a product presentation and you do a product presentation with every single customer every time, you're going to sell more used cars. It's that simple. So learn what every single make and model has as the same characteristics so you can present it every time. Read a book on sales once a month at the minimum. Hey, the recent study shows that the average American, after they get out of formal schooling, reads one book a year. And it doesn't even necessarily have to do with the book that is in their field, okay? So this is my point. If you read one book a month and commit to reading one book a month on the subject of sales, on the subject of leadership, on the subject of human growth, on the subject of psychology,
Personal development,
how much more advanced would you be in a year than your competition?
Unbelievable. And I said once before, since we got together, I read more now since you and I got together than I ever did before. Okay, makes me more positive. Knowledge expands your mind.
Expands your mind.
Your brain. No, could be anything really. Could be your field or how grasshoppers hop. It could be anything.
Something that will educate yourself.
Educate yourself. Make your mind work. If your mind's not working, it gets stagnant. And when it gets stagnant, that's when trouble happens.
Well, I was just going to say it. You brought up a good point. When you feed your mind and read on a consistent basis, guess what? You live longer. Listen, studies show that people who live well into their 90s and even into the hundreds are constantly active with their mind. They're reading every day. They're doing something every day. They're active. And it's important that we fill our mind if we want to achieve our goals. There's a Pareto print. Dr. Pareto came out with a principle called, it's the 80-20 rule. And basically it says that 20% of the people will produce 80% of the results. 80% of the people produce 20% of the results. 20% of the people make 80% of the money. 80% of the people make 20% of the money. So the question is this: where do you want to be? Do you want to be in the 20% or the 80%? I know you want to be in the 20%. And the best 20% of the salespeople in the world are reading and educating themselves, aren't they?
You know, there's a woman that I know, she's 96 years old. She's blind, okay? She goes to the pool every day. She doesn't really swim. There's a walk-around pool. She kind of walks around it. Then she gets to bars and she does like pull-ups. Again, she's blind, she can't see. But she steps out of her apartment, and in this community, she kind of hitchhikes, okay? One day I picked her up. She can't see me. I said, where are you going? She's at the pool. She got in the car. She has a walker. She had a walker, right? Put her in the car and brought her to the pool. I said, you want me to help you? She goes, no, I can figure it out. I got it handled. But I look at this woman, 96 years old. She goes to the pool every single day, and she's blind.
That's awesome.
I mean, I think I got to take a video and show people.
Listen, you need to do that. That would be great, just with your phone. And here's the thing. I know this guy. He would do that. I know you. I can see you picking up that woman and then driving her there. That's just his personality. He's just that nice of a guy.
And when I drive down the road, sometimes I'm hoping she's out there so I can stop. Because it gives me great gratitude that I can help this woman who's 96 years old and doesn't stay home.
It's amazing.
It
amazing.
really is amazing.
Look, we've seen so many things about people overcoming their disabilities and people overcoming certain things. So look, it really is about filling your mindset. It's about belief. That's the reality. If you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you can't. And we discuss this all the time. We can go on and on about this subject. We can do a whole day on this subject, right?
When you add it all up, the bottom line is this. If you're going to be in this industry, you need to make all the money.
You do.
Need not just work hard, you need to work smart. I just had a training a little while ago with some of the guys at one of the dealerships. He says, I get no referrals, and I get no prospects. And you know why? Because he doesn't do anything. And he realized he doesn't do anything to get prospects or referrals.
And it's about, obviously, following up, right? I mean, that's part of the whole game. It's about following up.
Okay.
Here's the other side of it, right? And the last thing that what makes great salespeople the best is the best salespeople, the ones who make the most money, they specifically watch out who they hang around. They don't associate with people. I mean, look, let's face it. If you're in this business, you're making $200,000, $300,000 a year. You're not associating and hanging around people making $20,000 or $30,000 a year. It's just the way life is. You have to associate yourself with people that you want to emulate and you want to become. Okay? You want to become somebody, hang around those people. Or, you know, we have that saying, right? If you hang around 9 broke people, what do you become? Broke. You become the 10th broke person, right? Don't hang around negative people. Get into the positive side. So you got to be brilliant in the basics. You got to have big goals. You got to educate yourself. And you got to surround yourself with the best possible people that you can surround yourself with. Am I right?
And it all comes down to how you feel about yourself.
That's the bottom line.
If you don't like yourself or you're putting yourself down, life's a struggle. Life's a battle.
True.
You got to forgive yourself. Anything that's happened to you in the past, it belongs to the past. You can't carry it. You got to be reborn again. You got to be born again. You got to be the new you. You got to empty all the garbage that's in your trunk. Get rid of it and start brand new.
You know, I went down to one of our dealer clients last week, and you know this gentleman, and I seen him, and he did just that. I'm not going to mention his name. He's a great young kid. And he came to our class. He was working an overnight job at an Offerdahl's bagel factory, making bagels overnight. And he was working from midnight till 8 o'clock in the morning, whatever he was working. And he was coming here right after that class because he wanted to change his life. You know, he wanted to be born again. He wanted to be a new person. He didn't want to make that 12 or 13 bucks an hour that he was making. And it was great to see him. He's been now at the dealership for a year that we placed him at. His second month in the business, he made over $13,000 after taxes, by the way, as his bonus check. And when I went to go see him this month, I haven't seen him in a while. He says, Matt, you don't understand. He says, man, you changed my life. And I says, no, I didn't change your life. You changed your life. I says, I was just the messenger. I says, you are the one who changed your life, because he was committed to doing it. And I remember he would even nod off in the class. You know how we get when people nod off, like, you know, nodding off. But I said, man, this kid's working hard. He wants it. I seen it in him. But the key is, it's right, Al. You got to be born again. You got to want this for yourself. Man, this is the greatest industry in the world that we're in. The automotive business?
Absolutely.
It can give us incredible opportunity. Look around your dealership. I want you to really look around the dealership that you're at right now. There are people making more money than doctors and lawyers. Did you know, Al, that the average attorney, now I'm talking about across the board, from criminal attorneys to specialized attorneys.
Real estate. Corporate.
The average attorney in the United States last year, 2018, earned just over $87,000. Do you know the average general practitioner doctor? I'm not talking about heart surgeons or brain surgeons, but the average general practitioner, MD, family doctor, earned just over $120,000 last year.
Yeah, but wait, they have a $200,000 student loan.
Yeah. But guess what? There's plenty of people in your dealership right now earning well more, much more than $120,000 a year. In fact, there's a lot of people in your dealership that are earning a lot more money than that. What am I saying? I'm saying that you can commit to yourself to overcoming the fears, commit to yourself of doing this business, get positive about this business, and really turn this into the greatest career. It comes down to what we started out with.
Yep.
Attitude,
It's all about attitude.
belief,
Absolutely.
learning, education, committing yourself. That's what this comes down to. This weekend, here we are. Hey, tax returns are coming back, everybody. We got tax returns coming back. This is some of the best times of the year. People are going to walk in. They're getting their settlement. They're getting their $2,000 back. They're getting their $3,000 back.
Yeah.
Maybe not as much as they did last year with this.
Yeah.
Anyway, we won't get into
Yeah,
politics,
won't
okay?
get
But
into that.
they're getting your money back.
Right.
And this could be the best 10 days of your life if you commit.
Absolutely. And you got the best holiday coming up, Easter.
Got Easter coming up. We have Passover coming up. We got some really big holidays coming up, right?
Holidays for all religions.
Yeah, and think about this. We got to commit to this business. Hey, look, it's about a half an hour already. We like to keep this to around 30 minutes because we know Friday is the start of the weekend. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. I believe we have 2 more weekends left in the month, right? We have 2 more weekends left in the month. Hey, if you're not at your goals right now, commit today. Commit right now. I'm going to hit my goals. This weekend, I'm going to do 6. I'm going to do 7. I'm going to do 8. I'm going to do 9 units. Hit a hat trick every day. It's possible. So if you're not there right now where you want to be at this time of the month, recommit to it. Put in the effort. Have that attitude. Have that pep in the step and that smile on your face. Look that part, man. Look sharp this weekend. Come in ready to rock and roll. Be what Al DeSaro does. I don't know where this guy gets his energy from, man. It's the most amazing thing in the world. Every time I see him, he gives me energy. Get ready to rock. This can be a great weekend, Al.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So with that,
Okay, with that, we're going to sign off soon.
We're gonna sign off.
So, look, we want you to have a great weekend. I want to say this. If you're interested in becoming part of our class, if you've never taken our classes, hey, reach out to us. You can reach us on our website, MPIAutosalesTraining.com. You can call us anytime at 866-897-0555. Hey, if your dealership needs training, well, they all need training, but if your dealership really wants to make a change, give us a call. We're committed to making a change at our dealership clients. We're committed to a little bit different than most trainers. We have all the experience in the world, and quite frankly, we really, really do care about making a big difference.
we get a lot of testimonials, like Matt said, where people say, you've changed my life. We didn't change anybody's life. We changed the way you look at your life. Once you look at your life, you can see what you don't want and what you want to bring in. And with that, Matt,
Let's sign off, but before we go, MPIAutoSalesTraining.com, 866-897-0555. Glad to be here with you this weekend. Matt Wannen, President of Maximum Potential Institute.
Al DeSaro, Vice President. Ciao Bella.
Ciao Bella, MPI, where success comes to life.